Pendo on the beat.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's a new day, it's a new life, and yeah, it's the last Uchiha here. And this is my first sort of talking to the camera video that I've done, you know, kind of like ever on this account. So, you know, it's kind of something significant, I guess. Oh, excuse me. And, you know, I felt like I had to let my soul speak a bit, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. Like, why don't we start there? So, I want to make a video tonight about authenticity, like, you know, pursuing our most authentic self, and bad faith, okay? So, I know that sounds kind of weird, but let me give you some examples now. Like, it's my birthday recently, I'm older, you know, and my ID expired along with my plates on my car, you know, and I didn't renew them, and I had a friend come to town, you know. Shouts out Rob, and we had some fun, you know. We did some, you know, some things on the town in the evening, and you know, I got some fines. Let's be serious, all right? Like, I got some fines on the car. Rob wasn't there, but you know, he heard about it later that evening, and so I went and you know, I got that kind of taken care of or whatever, and my car got a temporary thing, and now it's expired again, and I really need to get my license. I need to pay some bills. I owe like $300 to the phone company. I'm staring at a picture on the other side of the camera here of my beautiful uncle who passed away. And for a long time I was mad at my mom because she didn't let me see my uncle for a little bit when he got sick before he died there and when he died. And so I was pretty mad, and I had held a grudge for a while. And but she knows we're cool and we talk now. I never really said anything like this kind of shit on camera before. But I love my mom, and you know, hey man, she's the only mom I'll ever have. So, and one more to just clear it out. You know, I do this shit all the time. I play a lot of basketball, and I work out a lot, and I got like something on my foot. I guess like a wart or something like that. I didn't get it taken care of, and it's just like fucking crazy painful now and kind of big. But I'm going tomorrow. They're gonna freeze it and shit. But I'll just get the camera. And I guess I'll show you. It's probably not the coolest thing to look at or whatever, but I figure, you know, in the sake of honesty, I'll show you some shit. You know, it doesn't look fun. It's not that fun. Let's try to line this shit up here again. You know, I'm on my heat tonight. Oh, I had a shot here before doing this because, you know, it's not fun talking to a camera and trying to be honest with yourself and other people. And that's the topic. You know, that's what we're talking about tonight. So the reason I made this video is because I saw 3 examples. 3. It happened once, I was like, alright. It happened the second time, I was chewed out. You know, like I was kind of burnt about this example that happened. And then the third time I was like, I gotta speak on it. Something's gotta happen. Something's gotta happen as a result, because I can't just watch it happen 3 different times in close proximity and nothing happened. And so what the fuck am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about, first of all, I want to get into it. I'm talking about freedom. What the fuck is he talking about when he's talking about freedom? Well, I'm talking about freedom from kind of, you know, an orthodox understanding. A lot of people think, you know, freedom's just like I can pick this shit up or I can just do whatever. But, you know, I'm kind of an existentialist, big word, but I mean, I put your life, you know, like you being alive, before anything else. Like the person that you are right now as you exist, before anything else. So, like, that's what freedom means to me. It means, like, who you are right now and your choices. And so to existentialists, right, like freedom involves choice, and it's like heavy. It's like a heavy, terrifying fucking burden. Like right now I could say anything to the camera, I'm free to do so, but I have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to the basketball community. I have a responsibility to people that saved my fucking life. I have a responsibility to people that I admire. I have a responsibility to my family, you know? So like I gotta say some real things. And so freedom for existentialists involves like choice, it involves anguish, like, you know, it's tough, ambiguity, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, like there ain't no definitive answers out there. You know, freedom is just you doing you. You don't know the end result, and you can't really think about it. You have to do what's authentic to you. There's no preordained plan out there or some great master thing. And you know, some people might believe that in terms of the religious whole thing, and that's fine, but I don't, so that's not where I'm coming from. And then so that also ties in with responsibility. With freedom, we have responsibility. With choice, we have responsibility. And so responsibility is often looked at negatively, and you know, it's really tough. I got to do my homework. I got to dribble the ball 800 times to get some handles or whatever. You know, I got to be responsible to myself and my family. But and choice, you know, is deeply tied in there. And I'm going to say that responsibility can be positive, because like what you choose to be responsible to, and what you choose to do out of that, you know, that's kind of defining you at the same time. Because like, you know, for existentialists, we believe that like freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense? Like the choices that you make now. So that responsibility is kind of cool in the sense that you're always building your life project as you go. You're always building who you are with the choices you make. Y'all would never know this side of me. Y'all would never know me talk about my family, my foot, my bills, you know, my situations or whatever, if I didn't choose. So I chose to make this video tonight. And I'll be honest, it wasn't just for me. It was for other people in the community. Because I have much respect for everyone in the YouTube community. I have much respect for everyone in the basketball community. I have much respect for everyone doing anything in life. I don't care who you are, whether you're a worker, whether you're a parent, whatever. Honestly, if you're just trying to do you, you're trying to get respect out there by doing so, you're taking care of your family, you're getting checks, you're paying for your family shit, I'm so happy for you. I don't care what your thing is. I'm not going to judge you. I don't care what your lyrical content, what you wear, what you do is. I don't care what your hustle is. I'm just happy to see you do it. That's it. So, why am I making this video? And I guess that does that kind of, I'm going to just maybe back up before I go forward. To finish on freedom and where it ties to authenticity, you know, what you choose to do always has to be most honest to yourself. You can't ever lie to yourself. And so in life, you know, you can fail, but pick your failures based on if they're authentic or not to you. Pick your friends based on if they're authentic or not to you. You know, for example, like Zarathustra, one of the, you know, a famous character in Nietzsche's book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, he stopped speaking to the crowds because they couldn't understand what he was saying. He stopped speaking to people in the abstract because they couldn't feel him, they couldn't relate to him. So then he saved his words for only his friends, and his reason for that was his friends, i.e. his biological family, his social family, all those who were most close to him, could best support, you know, us as human beings on our going overs and our going unders, on our, you know, on our overcoming ourself, on our trying to be human again and again and again and again, and all that entails. So why am I making this video? I saw 3 specific instances of bad faith. 2 were directly linked to me. So I'm not going to talk about who or what, and I'm not going to say anything negative about people because that's just not my shit. But the first instance was an example of someone incredibly close to me for a very long time. Much respect to this person, much respect to their family. I want to see you flourish in life. Like, you're awesome. You know, no negative feelings here. But as a result of you not being honest to yourself, as a result of you not being clear with what you're, you know, kind of what you wanted in life, but more so than just that, what you expected from other people in your life, and then as a result, what you would tolerate or expect for yourself, because it would seem some people want a very contradictory form of freedom where they want to give one people one thing, and then they want to not hold themselves to the same standard. Or another example of that would be, they say, I really detest this practice, but then they engage in that practice anyways and not see how they're doing it themselves. So things like that. And it really disheartened me that I saw this person doing it because, you know, we don't have contact as a result of a lot of that. And nothing bad, nothing ill will. Just like, you know, maybe in life, you know, when things like that happen, they go to a certain extent, and they didn't have to go that far, and they could have been solved earlier if the person would have been more honest with themselves. And you got to be careful. you got to be careful because you can lose everything you love, and you can lose, you know, all that's most close to you. So that's one. And then the second one, you know, this was on my business thing. I was on some and so I'm, you know, the thing, and what had happened here was that, again, the person was not being honest to themselves. And so they began something, and they were all, you know, they were like, I don't know how to describe it, if they were being inauthentic, because I don't think inauthenticity is the right word on this one. I think they were being authentic to themselves, and when they were most authentic to themselves, they got scared, so then they had to change, if that makes any sense. Because sometimes being authentic to yourself can be really weird. Like, I was just talking to the camera for a second, and I almost fucking thought I was going to cry when I was opening this video type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, talking about the community and the fact that, like, you know, I had a lot of advantages in life and all types of shit. I'm not going to say anything like that at all. I just, some things I didn't deal with maybe well, and I made some choices, and, you know, I almost died. I'm going to be honest. And it was basketball, and it was the social activist / anarchist community that kind of saved my life. And people say, well, that's some weird shit. But it's true. So there's that. And like talking about it's tough, you know. But I had went against myself for a really long time, and that was, you know, kind of the crux of it as well too. And then I saw other people, and I realized again who I was. You know. But going on here, the second one, you know, was kind of a bit of fun, and no ill will towards that person at all. And I just got to say that kind of lost my thought on that one. But it was in terms of bad faith. That's what it was. The person was denying their authentic self on that second one, and nobody wants to see that because the consequence is there. Well, like I was kind of talking about myself there, you know, they can be fucking lethal. And so why don't we hit the third one quick? And so the third one actually happened. It happened in the basketball 2K YouTube, I guess, community, social media shit. See, I'm old. I don't know this stuff. I made YouTube videos when I was super young, when I was like, you know, I don't know, 2001, 2002 is when I first got into it. And one of my friends, Rob, one of my longtime friends, he still rocks with me, still fucks with me. You know, I see you, bro. He's out there with the Bahamas national team, and he's also playing with the Windsor Express. Please contact Rob for all your basketball needs. And yeah, he's a really cool guy on top of that. So if there's anyone that wants to talk to him, it's not related to basketball, I advise you to go talk to him for that too. But so the third situation was between two really big YouTubers, right? I guess, is that how it works? You get a lot of subscribers and a lot of people follow you on these different social media platforms, and then you're quote-unquote big, there's clout and all these things. Fantastic to you. I hope you're feeding your families. I hope you're pushing your communities forward. I think that's awesome. I just don't know how all that shit works or what to call it. So basically, one made a really good point in this situation too. So there was two, and let's just say what had happened here was they started some kind of relate, you know, a relation, whatever you want to say, something, you know, and one had said one to another, you know, one said one thing to another, and then said something somewhere else. And I'm familiar with this situation because this goes back to my number one, you know, and then how a person in my number two example kind of did themselves. But anyways, these two people, one like was just over here doing them, and that's not a perfect them, let's be honest, you know what I mean? You know, the king ain't perfect. The king's great. Love the king. Shouts out to the king. Just, you know, we're all imperfect human beings, you know what I mean? I tell people I'm a referee all the fucking time, I'm not gonna lie. And over here we had another one, and so they had just said something that was maybe untrue, or maybe a little bit leading someone on, which is actually cool. in some ways. I'm not even going to hate on that. Because they made a valuable point. Well, actually, I am kind of hating on that, so I'm going to put that half, you know. But they made a point that there's power inequalities between genders and between different people of different identities on YouTube, on the platform. I think that's absolutely true. It happens in larger society as well, too. It's not just on YouTube, but I just want to make that absolutely clear, right? Like, you know, I'm an anarchist. I study, well, I don't get to study anarchism in school. I kind of do, but not really. I look at social, you know, power between social groups. Specifically, I have a study of anti-oppression, and what that means to me, and I'm just going to break it down along with anarchism, is that what we're looking at here is how power functions through institutions, culture, and the interpersonal level all at once, especially oppressive power, but sometimes it's really beneficial to look at power from the bottom up, which is really good power, forms of like community organizing and different things like that, kind of counter to the dominant forms of oppressive power. That's really cool to study at the exact same time. Gives you better analysis, absolutely, and I would include YouTube in there, and that's why I'm making this video. So, these two people had this shit happen, and I just want to caution the one over here who, you know, there's a danger in bad faith to existentialists, okay? So, like, you know, we understand sometimes lying to people is just lying to people or whatever, da-da-da-da-da-da. But you got to be careful, because sometimes you can go against your own soul. You know, when you go against your own soul, not just another soul, no pun intended on that one, because that's actually fucking hilarious, but another soul, you know, no, that's another soul, and this is your own soul. When you go against your own soul, which is so weird too, because it's like king over here and king over here. How the fuck are they both kings and both souls at the same time? That shit's really fucked up. So you got one king soul, and then you got one king soul over here, which is really messed up. And that's actually in reality, if you follow this kind of stuff, what they call themselves and all that shit. But so, back to the bad faith. For existentialists and bad faith, lying is not just lying to other people. It's putting lying into the world. Okay? And then it's also lying to yourself. All of your choices, as we were talking back before about freedom, responsibility, authenticity, they're building your life project over time. And why I stuttered on your there was because I was going to say yourself at the same time. All of your choices are building you, who you are, the innermost you. And it's difficult. I just cried, teared on camera. I'm going to take responsibility for that. Some shit is important to me, and when I talk about it, I get emotional. Some people yell and swear and all types of shit, and I do too at different times. Certain things frustrate the fuck out of me, but certain things also make me, you know, physically emotional. Whatever, it happens. So, back to the bad faith. I want to caution the person over here, the other king's soul, because what they can do is really do damage to themselves in their life project. And they might not understand it at first. They may be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But I've seen it, because it's a situation where if you make one choice that goes against yourself, you're going to make another choice that goes against yourself. And again and again and again and again. And all of these small choices against yourself add up. If I don't get my foot fucking healed, if I don't get a humidifier in here, which is drying the fuck out of me, if I don't, like, you know, pay my bills or whatever, like, all of those things will add up over time. And those are just fucking small shit that's easily taken care of and stuff like that. If I'm being self-deceptive, if I'm, like, you know, not working on my craft but telling people I am or all these other things, I'm deceiving them, but I'm also deceiving myself. So when I have to go do some shit, it's not going to be my most authentic self. I'm not going to be able to be my best performing self or whatever the fuck it is. So, the other thing too is, like, and I hope this makes sense to people out there, because I know I'm talking a lot, but the more you go against yourself, and the more you go against your authentic self in your own life projects, the more you put negative shit into the world. The more you build yourself up, the more you build your authentic life project, the more you, like, you know, try to not undermine other people's freedoms while also increasing your own, the more beautiful and amazing things will happen in the world. The more better relationships happen. Like, you know, you'll have the best sex, the best work, the best life, the best fun, the best friends when you're helping other people gain their freedoms. But you'll have the worst of all that shit when you're trying to take it away while getting yours. If that makes any fucking sense. So, like, if y'all are interested in this kind of stuff at all, you know, the existentialist stuff, I would say go look at Jean-Paul Sartre and his play No Exit, which is a real cool example. It's just like people talking. You might think, why the fuck would I just read people talking and shit like that? They're just in hell, man. But like, literally and figuratively, they're in a hell of their own making, because how we relate to other people makes hell. But also, you know, and along with that are expectations of other people, their expectations on us, socially imposed expectations, forms of social power, all that sort of stuff can create hell for us. But also, when we undermine other people's freedoms in pursuit of our own freedoms is a form of creating hell. When we become sadists in the name of freedom, when we're hurting other people to make ourselves feel empowered, or when we're like, you know, cutting the basis of what they make, if we're cutting out the basis of what makes them a person, we're also taking out the blocks of what makes us a person at the same time. I just want to make that absolutely fucking clear. You know, so when we like put stuff into the world, let's make it the most beautiful, the most stable, and the most, like, you know, with the most integrity we can, right? And just don't go against yourself. Like, you know, take an unpopular stand. I saw Christopher London take a fucking unpopular stand, and man, like, I'll buy that guy a beer if he drinks beer. I don't know what your ass drink, but I thought it was really fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? Really cool. Man, so that's what it is. And I want to see, you know, more of that kind of stuff. And I'm not mad at the person. Hey, folk over here, we have our problems. We do our own thing, and relating, especially to other people and having lovers, is very difficult. So sometimes we talk about it, sometimes we're on our grown and sexy talking about mature things and stuff. It is what it is. Power inequalities on YouTube and all that stuff, 100%. No doubt and all that. This person over here, you know, the king over here, in their own respect at what they do, I want to see them succeed. I wish them nothing but the best in the world. Everything that's beautiful for you in the world, all that stuff. Just honestly, while you're doing it, just be careful. Just be careful. Because I've seen people, you know, deceive themselves. I've seen people undermine other people's freedoms in an attempt to get their own freedoms. Not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And, you know, so that's where I think I'm going to leave it. I think I talked a little much on this shit today. I don't know how to talk to a camera and all that shit. I get all excited. I don't like talking on camera. If y'all like it, give the videos a like. Leave a comment. Let me know what's going on in the comment section if you even watch this shit. I got 10 or 11 people that subscribe to me. Shouts out to them. They're fucking champions. They're champions. Oh, one thing I wanted to tell you, a lot of them are my friends. So that happens. And that's what I wanted to say about friends too before we go. Friends are the ones that, you know, hold us up, understand us the most, and that's what I want to build on the YouTube community, more and more friends. I don't want to tear anyone else down. So when we're having these conversations, I didn't want to mention any names specifically. I didn't want to call anyone out by name. I didn't want to like judge them morally or anything like that, because I'm not hating on their grind. Do your grind. But I'm just going to talk about existentialism and bad faith in the abstract, and if people want some resources on that, I think Sartre's his original essay on existentialism, I can't remember what the fuck the title is, I should have looked at Existentialism is a Humanism. That's pretty good. It was like a talk that's made really easy and approachable for, I guess, philosophy, which isn't that easy and approachable. Sometimes it's annoying. And then you can check out his play, Sartre's No Exit. It's a pretty cool play where there's 3 characters, and Inez is the one that I was referring to. That's kind of the like teacher sadist sort of role that, like, you know, as much as she's like helping other people gain their own freedom, she also at times is like undermining their own freedom, so that's really tough. And that actually puts her further in hell. It doesn't help her in any way. And then the other one I would say is Richard Wright's The Underground Man, which kind of comes from a different perspective. It's not just dealing with people being authentic to themselves, it's also within the context of being outside or inside or in society, where you have social forces and a society that pretty much wants to kill you and see you dead. So, kind of a little mix of both worlds, but a little bit more intense when you're coming from a non-dominant social group and identity. But that's for a whole nother day. So that's it. That's the end of this life. That's the end of this day. And my name is The Last Uchiha. Follow me if you want to follow yourself, and hopefully we'll get there together. That's it.